Your blonde bombshell here with question and answers number 5. And it feels like there's more questions, but it's just paper instead of index cards. What is a tradition you had as a child that you want to do with your child someday? Very simple. We made every Sunday like a family holiday. You had to have homework done. You had to be able to travel because Sunday we would go like to restaurants to go eat. It was just Sunday was family day. So I think that's one thing that I want to install with my child is Sunday is family day, most importantly. What is one thing you miss most about being a kid? Well, today I received my paycheck stub in the mail, so I sat down at the table and I started budgeting out my bills and how, everything. And I was like going, man, when we were younger, like kids, we didn't have to worry about this stuff. It was just done. So I think that's definitely something that you realize as an adult you don't have the luxury of. Would you ever allow a co-host? I would say most of my friends are scared, and family too, are scared of YouTube and they think that I get too personal on here or I share too much. Would I allow a co-host? It depends. If the co-host would want to come on here and either sing or ask questions. And then only difference is I'm more of a control freak, so I would probably have to know what was going to be said before we aired. So that's what I would have to say. If you could dedicate your life to solving one problem, what problem would you choose? Oh, good gravy. There's so many problems in this world. We have abuse of children. We have domestic violence. We have abuse of animals. We have women who can't have children due to hormone problems such as polycystic ovarian syndrome that, I don't know, I can't just choose one because this world is a wreck and it needs help. Would you fight for love or money, and why? Money cannot buy you happiness. Money can buy you things, but it cannot buy you love. Love, if you have to fight for it all the time, or if you're scared that you're either going to come in second best, or they're going to regret the day that they met you, or they wish they never met you, or they won't listen to you, what's love anyway? I would say at this point, I haven't really found a reason to fight for either one. And each time I do, it seems like I get let down or there's some stupid reason. So what's the use? If someone narrated your life, who would you want to be the narrator? Either Reese Witherspoon, Candace Cameron Bure, or Cindy Busby, who did the Unleashing Mr. Darcy movie. If you were a vegetable, which vegetable would you be? Well, of course, a cucumber, because I'd be cool as I can be. Would you want the ability to hear your thoughts of people near you, even if you couldn't turn the ability off? No. I think at this point, people make their own judgments. They could be wrong judgments, which most of the time they are, or they could be the judgments of a man or who's been hurt before and doesn't give the woman a chance to defend herself, or just no. Name the most relaxing place you've ever been. Most relaxing, I don't know. I'm a very uptight person. I don't usually let my guard down too often, and if I do, it's a miracle. I would have to say when I'm not on an itinerary and I don't have a schedule, which is rarely ever, the most relaxing place that I found last year when Grandma was getting sick was either here on YouTube or working out or doing some gardening, which it was raining today, so I didn't get my seeds planted. I didn't get my yard mowed, so I'm a little angry. Excuse me. But hopefully that'll happen soon. What are some small things that make your day better? Oh, I play words with friends. So I would say playing that game is kind of entertaining. I love reading, so that makes my day better. I also do adult coloring books, and that makes my day better, but that's my life. And my animals, of course. They make my day better. And Hallmark movies. And WWE. If you were to marry, would you have a small or a large planned out wedding? As most of you know, I'm selling my wedding dress and I reduced the price to $50 because I've given up hope. And I just don't see that happening for me. But if that ever was to happen for me, my dream wedding, if you ever seen the movie 8 Seconds where you have an outdoor wedding and you get to dance outside and the dress isn't really over the top, but it's perfect. That's my dream wedding. And I don't really like large crowds, but I would, if my husband-to-be had a large crowd as a family, then of course we're going to have a large wedding, but I prefer a small one. My computer is acting up, so give me just a minute here. I don't know what that meant. But here we go. Next question. If you could hire out one household chore, what would it be? I really like doing the household chores. I know that sounds stupid, but I do. I would say the only household chore I'd like to hire out is something that maybe some of you who are not scared of heights would enjoy, but I'm desperately scared of heights. Like cleaning the gutters around the house, to also there's a spot in the hallway that is needing painted. So having the hallway painted, just like those two things, but that would be what I would hire out. Oh, this is a good one. If you could spend 5 minutes with the president, what would you talk about? If I could spend 5 minutes with the president, I would try to bite my tongue because I'm not his biggest fan. But I would say, let's stop building walls and stop building all of this nonsense of hatred. And why don't we focus on some at-home problems? We've got churches, and I love the churches, okay? Nothing against y'all. But we got churches trying to save money up to go to these foreign countries to better them, and then the U.S. usually sticks their big fat nose in it. And what happens? We end up going to war. So here's what I would tell the president. Why don't we stop wanting to build walls and start worrying about the inside of the United States? We've got homeless. We've got people out there who have dogs that are homeless, and it's just so much. People going hungry. It's horrible. Why don't we focus on the US of A, not focus on boundaries? That would be what I would talk to him about. What are you most sentimental about? Everything. I have stuffed animals that were given to me by my great-grandparents that I still have to this day. I have a doll in the other room in my grandparents' room that was given to me by my great-grandma. I still have to this day. I had my very first breathing machine. I didn't throw it out. I kept it because of sentimental value. That was bought at Arcade Drugstore, no longer here in Mattoon. Oh, Donnie, you got 2 questions. If you could choose your last words, what would they be? That's a tough one. I would have to say my last words, I would hope would be something like, I love you, or continue on, or don't let other people gossip about you and ruin your life. In what ways do you hold yourself back? That's tempting right after that one. I am my own worst enemy in a lot of ways. How do I hold myself back? I would say, um, if you really think about it, in all my relationships, in a way, one way or another, maybe I didn't fight enough for them. But then again, it's a catch-22. It could have went either way. Um, I'm not one of these. I'm one of these that, okay, you know what? Okay, you're fighting with me. You're saying angry words to me. I'll back off. You win. And that's from a lot of abuse that's been on in my life that I don't share too easily. And once I get hurt, and I get hurt deep, I don't try again. When you're 80 years old, what will matter most to you? Well, I plan on adoption, so what will matter most to me is my adoption. I won't call them my adoption kids. I will call them my kid. I don't look to have more than one because I don't look to be that blessed. But just one child will be fine. As long as that one child is with me, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. If you could live in any TV home, which would it be? TV home? Either the Chrisley family or Dog the Bounty Hunter, or also, what's the other one? Ms. and Mrs., or any of the Hallmark Channel movies. One of those homes. Oh, good gravy. If you could abolish one piece of modern technology, what would it be and why? Computers are great. They've come a long way. However, in the modern era that we live in, they can be your best friend or they can be your worst enemy. You can bully people on the internet. So therefore, the internet that we created is getting so smart that it can also take the greatest moments of life and quickly turn them into our worst moments of life. So while we may be sharing our joy or our pain, if we're sharing joy, then it's not what somebody who is a frenemy is going to appreciate. If we're sharing our pain, then they're going to relish in that. They're going to share it with everyone they know who may not like you or cause you grief, and then that causes you more pain. So the internet, I would say, coming from someone who's been virtually married twice, can't seem to get a divorce, that's saying a lot. What would be the worst buy one get one free sale of all time? Worst buy one get one free sale? I always like those kind of sales usually. I don't know of one. I really don't. I'm trying to think. Buy one get one free, that would be terrible. Well, I'm not an ice cream person, so I would probably say ice cream. 2 questions that are not on here. Why am I not singing lately? Well, I finished my penicillin yesterday for my tooth. And today, this was question number 2, why I wasn't singing, about the tooth, when is it going to be fixed, yada, yada, yada. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do on the tooth, but I gave it a date of decision, which I thought was very wise. I gave it May 23rd. Now, 5 years ago, on May 23rd, I experienced an injury on that tooth. I gave that tooth a nickname, like I do everything. And I can't share it. But I can just say, it's been 5 years in the making. And it hasn't caused me any pain, but it has caused me a lot of grief since March 27th, my tooth. All I can say is, I apologize for sometimes being too much. Back to that question, some of my friends do think that I share too much of my life with you on here. But when you're scared and you're frightened and you don't really know how to handle something, because every time you take a chance it doesn't work, and your only way to show, I guess you would call it a fight or action, is through words on here, and you think that maybe, just maybe, it's going to make a difference, you take that chance. So that's why I'm so easy to talk to on here, because I feel like, not that I have a whole wide world audience, that you're actually taking the time to listen to what I have to say, and that I matter. Because I feel like a lot of people who meet me end up regretting it, or thinking that they wasted their time. And I apologize from my heart and my soul. And I hope and I pray the very best for each and every one of you. I will be here the next few nights. I won't be singing. I don't want to tempt fate with my tooth. In the future, though, we're going to do some relationship questions that you've all asked. And I guess it's so easy for me to give relationship advice because I'm on the outside looking in, and it's not me in that relationship. So that's why you all come to me, because I can be the level head, because I'm not in that relationship. But I can tell you, if you find love and you fall in it, do everything you can to work at it. Love isn't easy. Love doesn't run. Love doesn't walk away. It stays and it works things out. It's a matter of communication. It's a matter of listening and hearing what that other person is trying to tell you. It is a matter of trying to understand, even when that other person may not be the most experienced. They may be the most kind and caring individual you'll ever meet, and most compassionate. So next time that you fall in love, I want you all to remember this. Give it your best. Don't walk away so easily. Don't run from something that may be the best thing that ever happened to you. And most importantly, don't be so scared that you don't take a chance, or that you go to work and you share those fears with your coworkers, and things get bent so far out of proportion that those fears are misstated, and they're turned around the facts, and they ruin things because that's what they wanted all along. That's what I hope and pray never happens to you. God bless.